What is going on, everybody? I hope you're doing well. Today, we're going to be analyzing a gaming crypto, another gaming or gaming related crypto called DeRace or DeRace. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but there you go. It's basically a horse racing game utilizing all the existing benefits of crypto gaming, NFT gaming, all that sort of stuff with in-game assets where you can breed horses in games, you can make money, you can buy horses in game, you can race them, you can bet on them, you can gamble on them. Essentially, it is digitizing the experience of horse racing in real life, except again, because of digital, it comes with a host of other benefits, not limited to, you don't need to wait for a lot of the horse races, and they're not happening that frequently, as opposed to if they were digital, they'd be happening a lot more frequently. I'm going to be breaking down in this video why I'm invested in this and exactly where I got in and where I'm looking to potentially see this company and all of that sort of fun stuff. So if you're interested in that, then I highly recommend sticking around till the end of the video, because I see this at least 2xing realistically in the next few months to 6 months or something like that would be my guess. Okay, so first and foremost, let's just start with a quick disclaimer. Never take this as financial advice, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure you're probably sick of hearing that, but I've got to say it. This is all just my opinion and my personal experience. So make sure you do your due diligence before making any kind of decision. So first thing I want to take note of quickly before we get into some of the information behind DeRace is the self-reported circulating supply. Now, obviously, this would be better if it was verified, but essentially, this shows that all of the supply that there is circulating. Now, this is good, and it's also indicated by the fact that market cap and the fully dilated market cap are identical. Why is this important? Well, because if you've got, let's say, 1% circulating supply, meaning only 1% of the total amount of a coin is in circulation, then if they suddenly dumped 10% more of that supply into the market, that's going to cause prices to completely drop to the floor, because, well, not necessarily the exact floor, but it will drop significantly. Why is that? Well, because if you drop a load of supply, as the supply increases, the demand will decrease. If you've got 3 Pokemon cards that are really rare and worth a lot of money, in other words, the demand is really high, and then you created another 1 billion of those Pokemon cards, the price of that Pokemon card is going to go down significantly because it's lost that rarity. Okay, and so that's very, very important. Now, let's get into the actual understandings of the game first. So I want to start by talking about the horse racing market. So for me, if you know my particular approach, I don't really like getting hyper technical with these things. The most important thing to me is to keep it simple and understand that, okay, is there an industry for it? Is there a need for it? Are the benefits that crypto gaming bring to it something that is needed? It's not just, them hopping on the blockchain, hype and all that sort of stuff. Is it something that's genuinely going to add benefit and kind of bridge the gap between the real world and the virtual world? And yeah, those are the kind of main 2 underlying things that I will have to see before I even consider moving on to the next stage of the analysis process. And we can see here that the global horse racing market was $300 billion in 2019, I believe, and it's poised to grow by $139 billion during 2020 to 2024. So that's a massive increase. It's almost, I believe that's like a 46% increase in the next, let's imagine it was 2019 to 2024 in a 5-year period. That's absolutely huge. Okay. And so that for me is really, really good. Does it mean that all of that market is going to translate over to video games? No, absolutely not. But even if it was a fraction of that, that shows a need, it shows a demand, it shows that people are interested in it. Now, if you compare this to a video game that was coming out that had no real world application, it wasn't based off anything, it's a completely new concept, in my opinion, that's going to take a lot more marketing, it's going to take a lot more information about what that world is actually about, a lot more art, a lot more details, as opposed to something like horse racing that has a proof of concept in real life. And even if it's not the exact same size in a digital world, it could be, then that's still a massively positive thing. Not to mention the fact that with a video game, people can do it from their rooms, from their houses, whatever, wherever they are, and they can bet, they can gamble, they can do all of that stuff with a lot more ease, and so there's a lot more less friction. Plus, they can breed their own horses without having to, actually keep horses in real life, and farming them is probably the really bad word for it. But looking after them, nurturing them, and all of that sort of stuff. And so that's a massive positive. Now, if we compare that with the video game market, we know, if you've watched other videos on my channel or all of the other people on YouTube who are in the crypto space, specifically the crypto gaming space, you will see that crypto gaming has unbelievable potential with the expected worldwide video game users expected to reach 3 billion by 2023. That's ridiculously large. Okay. And obviously, again, it doesn't mean that all of those people are going to be playing DeRace. You don't need all of those people to be playing DeRace. This is showing you the foundation, that the foundation is there, that there is a potential to support this game doing well if it meets all of the other criteria. And so now that we've crossed that off, we can move on to the next areas. Now, for me, because at this stage in crypto gaming, a lot of these games are unreleased and they are still in development because we are so early to the market. Now, this means that we need to be good at spotting whether a game is going to be good and predicting whether it's going to be a really good project or not, just from what's been released before the game. Okay, now a lot of scams are out there where they just release an NFT marketplace and that's kind of it. And one of the things that I like about DeRace is the fact that it's a simple game. It's just horses running. Like, it's pretty hard to mess that up. If you compare that to something like Call of Duty or something like that, you've got so many different game mechanics, so many things, so many added pieces of complexity. And with complexity comes more room for errors. You've got technical errors in the code because there's 10 times 20 times more code. You've got budget issues. You need a bigger team. You need that team to work better together. These are all things that add complication and can breed problems. And so with horses in DeRace, it's a lot simpler. It's a lot easier to manage, in my opinion. And so it gives me a lot more faith. And also the company has been very clear on social media, and I just really like the approach that they've had with it so far. Now, a few of the benefits of doing this, going through this process of DeRace and all that sort of stuff, is the gambling transaction speeds are going to be significantly higher than with standard currencies. Sometimes with video games, if you were trying to gamble on a video game, the processing times are ridiculous, but that is kind of a standard positive of most crypto gaming transactions and all of that sort of stuff. Another thing I like is one of the reasons that games will suddenly die out. Okay. And when I say die out, I'm not just talking about these kind of slightly big corrections and bear markets, because there are a lot of things that influence that. But the general decisions of consumers to stop playing a game is normally because it gets boring, and that's normally because of repetitive gameplay, or they've completed all of the in-game loops. But if we think about horse racing as a general idea, as a general sport, it doesn't really lose its interest as much, because with this you'll have the you'll have the incentive to go and breed your own horses. You can make your own money within the game. You can gamble on horses. You can do so many different things that makes it an interactive experience, not to mention that they have something called genetic algorithm and controlled RNG technology. Essentially, in layman's terms, it means that they have implemented code, or they have systems in place to keep the user experience unique, new, and interesting, so that the gameplay doesn't get repetitive and boring. This is very, very important because it's talking to the long-term potential of the game. And for me, that is absolutely massive. And so it's mimicking the real life horse racing experience, but in a digital way. But it has all of the benefits of doing it in real life, except you can do it quicker. You can do it from the comfort of your own home. It's incredible. And you have the opportunity to make real money. But again, these are the positives of all crypto gaming. So I'm not going to, blab on about that. Now, where did I get in with this? Well, to be honest with you, I was fairly late. So I only got into this fairly recently. I got in around about here, just when I saw this big dip around here. I bought it on PancakeSwap. So I must have bought around about $3, and now it's kind of resting at just a little bit. It's about $3.5. So it's not doing incredibly well, but it's still a very decent gain. I'm more than happy with that. Again, I know that a lot of people will be talking about the 100x, 10x, and all of that sort of stuff gains, but they're not always the most realistic. But that's not to say that this can't go up a hell of a lot more. Why? Because if you see my other videos, particularly, I believe the last video I was talking about some of the news being released with Facebook changing their name to Meta, this is just the beginning. And so if you are able to catch those games that end up getting mass adoption in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years plus, and you're able to catch that fairly early on, then the market caps for these companies are going to be way more than 79 million. Okay, it's going to overtake, in my opinion, some of the major altcoins and Bitcoin and stuff like that, because the market caps have the potential to go up to billions, hundreds of billions. And so if you think about that and you think about where prices are at now, even if we 10x, that's only that's only 790 million. Okay, that is still a large market cap, but that's really not that far-fetched if the game takes off in the way that it has the potential to. And so it's not about necessarily every single thing that I pick blasting off. It's about spreading my bets across lots of different games, and then one of them, if one or two of them pay off, then that will be the big payoff. That will be the benefit. Okay, so I really hope that this helps you. I hope this has helped you. If you've got any other coins you would like me to look at, or crypto gaming ones in particular, I'm really interested and focused on that at the moment, then feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Or if there's anything else you'd like to see, let me know in the comment section below. Or if you'd like to ask a question or whatever, I don't care, just ask in the comment section below, and I will definitely get back to you as soon as possible. But thank you so much, guys. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and I'll see you in the next video.